one of the worst thing you could do to your family here in our culture is not having kids, not passing on your genetic DNAs to the next generation. Today I want to argue why it is okay not having kids, even if you are already in your 30s or 40s, or you have already passed that age, and you continue to have this kind of FOMO, fear of missing out, and you're thinking maybe you are missing a very important piece of life, or you are thinking about getting children and you are not able to have children and you're kind of very worried or having anxiety. So I'm 45, I'm married, I live in Taiwan in Asia, and we have this Chinese culture, Chinese heritage. And one of the worst things you could do to your family, to your ancestor, is not pass on my DNA and to pass the torch to make little humans, to pass your family blood. That is according to our conventional wisdom. And we have always been like that. The majority, the people around me, younger than me or around my age, they already are married with children, maybe 2 or 3, but they most often fulfill their responsibility according to our culture. What I'm trying to argue is that whether to have children should not be something that is mandatory. That should be by design. That should be in alignment with your life's choice, with you and your partner or your spouse. Listen, I think people are changing. Fundamentally, I think the most important relationship, the first thing you need to figure out in a marriage is your relationship with your loved one, your spouse or your partner. Better yet, at the beginning, as you're seeking someone to form a family with, find someone that share your value. Find someone that are looking at things in alignment with your point of views. And someone who enjoy what you enjoy, someone who is empathetic to you, someone who brings you joy, someone to spark your ambition or enjoyment in life. Find that person and maintain your relationship with that person, because your relationship with that person is the cornerstone, is the foundation of the family. Some people try to make up the lack of good relationship with their partner by having children. And I do know a few people who maintain their superficial relationship with their spouse, so the children won't grow up broken. And that is the only purpose. That is only what is left for that marriage. And they're not happy together, but they're just making up for the children. They're just trying to cope with what is, but they don't have the courage to make change. So they are in this kind of conundrum, right? So I think the most important relationship is you and your spouse. And then if that is clicking, if that is well maintained, then having children could be a multiplier for your joy, for your laughter, for your family grows together, and you multiply that and you see this family coming together. But if you're not happy before you have children, then you need to fix that first, because the children won't make everything suddenly turn great. Children can feel and they can understand. They feel if the family is in harmony, if the parents love each other, they can feel that. And we want to cultivate an environment where this little human being grow up to be wholesome adults, right? So just make sure you have that foundation first. So don't worry about having children immediately. Worry about building a good relationship in your marriage. And second thing is that don't forget that you are a human. You are an individual. And a human and individual has needs. has desire, has ambition, has passions in life. Too often that many of the parents I know around me, where after they have children, the kids or the children will become the sole focus of their life. They pay full 100% attention to their kids, and they forgot that as a person they have their own needs. And they are saying, they will always tell you they're sacrificing everything for the growth, for the happiness, for the development of their children. But I know some of them, deep down, they are not that happy as they seem, because they don't have time. They're saving all the money for the children. They work for the children, not for the pure enjoyment of, making work or trying to contribute to the world. And everything they do, every trip they take, every gathering with their friend is just creating a circumstance to cater to the needs of the children. So they were just having like family reunion between friends, but the purpose is not like having conversation about your aspirations, about your life experience as with your friends, but they're just creating an environment where the kids can have fun and they can take a short break from there. And even when they are there, 100% of their attention is watching their children. I know for parents, it is our human nature to care for our children. You want to feed them, you want to keep them safe, you want to make them happy, you want to see them grow. That is fully understand. But don't forget, as human beings, as a person, you are still a person. You have needs. And don't just put yourself in the last of your priority. Put some attention to yourself and don't just sacrifice everything. So these are the two principles I think that's truly important before you consider having kids, or you already have kids, but there's still time or there's room to think about these. Just care about the relationship between you and yourself, then the relationship between you and your spouse. But I want to make it clear, I understand the fulfillment or the joy or even the ecstasy or the suffering that you could get from being a parent. There's so much joy in that. And it is something that you cannot replace with all the life's others experience. I do have friends, they would tell me, having kids is one of the best decisions they ever made in their life. And even though they're sacrificing a lot, but they do not regret it. And because they see the children grow up, if the child smiles at a daddy or mommy, and all their entire days of fatigue or stress would just suddenly disappear. And that is so beautiful. I understand they're beautiful. I also adore children who are close to me, who loves me, my relatives' children. We have fun with them, and when I hold them, when I play with them, I really appreciate these little human beings, and I know they are like candy to the eyes. I fully understand that, and I know for parents what it means to be parents and all the beautiful learning, all the beautiful experience that you can get having children. But having said that, I still consider that is the life's choice, because I think we are in this age where there's a diverse way of living. We are freedom of choice, and we don't want to be dominated by fear, because FOMO, it is being like, if you don't do that, and then you're missing out. But actually, I think life isn't a one-way street. I think we're on this journey, and everyone might have different paths, might choose to take different paths. Different paths have different sceneries. You would encounter with different people. You would learn different things. So that is totally fine. But just be informed and just be conscientious about the situation and about the decision you're about to make. So just have a very deep talk with your spouse or your partner and think about what you want to achieve in life. Is children part of that journey. It is beautiful if it is. If it is also beautiful if it is not, because you're just choosing a different path. And I think the most important thing is to have this common understanding, this agreement deep down that you agree that you want to make children, and you're gonna enjoy the process, even if it's suffering and if it's bitter and sweet, and even it means that maybe you retire later, or maybe your time will be completely taken, and you understand they will grow, and at the end they will form their family, they will become little adults, and they will fly away. I do know some people who pay all their attention to their children, but suddenly after 20 years the children will grow up and they will leave their home, and then suddenly they remember that, hey, I'm a human being. If I have nobody to care for or to cater to, who am I? Who the hell am I, and what do I want? You don't want to find that out so late in life. You wanna cater to the needs of yourself as an individual too. So we don't have children, and we're okay with that. Initially we wanted to have children. We thought that was a process, and we thought that could bring joy to the family. But I would say that maybe God didn't want to give us children. By saying God, let's say this first. I am not religious. When I said God, I'm talking about maybe there is some kind of coincidence or some randomness in the universe. So at the end, we didn't have children, and we had this kind of FOMO because we're getting older, and we're kind of like, if we miss this, what will our life become, right? There will be like a little bit of regret. But as we continue to navigate forward, we found out that if we are happy together as two people, then we can continue to be happy this way, right? The family, even if it's just two people, it's not three people or four people, but it is still family. And a family shares together your joy, your challenges, your learning, your development, your inspirations. And with or without children, it is still a family. It is still units that we would navigate life together through. So we don't have children, then we focus on the needs of the significant other, and we focus on the need of ourselves. We still continue to plan our trips, to talk about our aspiration in our career, and we talk about what things we want to do, concerts we want to go to, movies we want to enjoy together, the walks we want to take, and all the journeys or travels that we want to navigate and explore together. And we're happy this way. I think if you are at a time that you are struggling to have children, or maybe you are hesitating if you should have it or not, my message is that it is okay if you choose not to have children. It's completely okay. In the past, we would think children will take care of us. In our culture, in our conception, it's like children will carry you as you become older, and they will support you financially, right? That's our very old conventional concept, but that is actually not true going forward as we are entering at different ages. Even in the West, I think when the children they grew up and they leave home, then you become two different families, and you just from time to time visit each other. And so we're like getting rid of this notion that we need to depend on our children when we become much older. We want to be independent. We want to be independent financially and emotionally, physically, right? So it doesn't matter if you have children or not. This still will be your lifelong journey to become an independent individual. That is the purpose, to live a fulfillment life. So if you're struggling and you don't know what to do, and I'm sharing with you my message. And but at the end, I think this will be the decision between you and your spouse or your partner. What do you really want to get in life? And don't regret. If you have children, then just raise them up, make sure they become wholesome, great human beings to contribute to the world, right? Anyway, just don't regret doing it or not doing it, because there is no turning back. Once you have them, or once you choose not to have them, that is the path you take. You want to fully enjoy your journey along that different path. That's my key message.